Patrick Wall explained to us that every day he's going to up the intensity of practice. Just what's that process like to kind of get your legs moving this week and prepare for when games return on Wednesday?
Yeah, nice to get back on the ice with all the guys. I think we all appreciate him sort of ramping up the intensity, right? We had 3 really good days, but felt a little better every day, a little less rusty, and then obviously had a hard practice today, so a day off and then back at it.
Speaking of hard practice, like the whammies were back, also some fun battle drills, especially with fans in the rink too. Like how much fun is that to kind of put on a bit of a show for the season ticket members here?
Yeah, it's great. Love having the fans there, especially when we're playing those games like 1-on-1, 2-on-2 at the end. I don't know, a little added intensity for us. We're already pretty competitive with one another, but it's fun having some people in the stands.
Before the break, the schedule was packed, and it gets no easier when games resume. What's the balance of not only resting, but also training and getting yourself back up to game speed, and also just your mindset the final 2 months of the regular season?
Yeah, the break was great, but like you said, the schedule ramps up pretty quickly, so break was great. Time to kind of shake the rust off, get back in shape, and get right back at it. I think, taking care of yourself away from the rink, recovering properly, all those things are going to be very important for the following 2 months.
In the past few years, you guys have been in it. It's been a tight race to make the playoffs. Every game really mattered. And February, March, April, what's the mindset in those games, especially when you think about you're in a better spot this year going into those crucial games, but when every point matters so much, what's the team's mindset?
Yeah, I think the mindset has to be, it's like a playoff game. And we've had that mindset for a few months now. Like you said, the division, the whole league is just so tight. So, you start to lose a few games, you really start to slip behind. You see it in the standings. So I think it's treat every game like a playoff game. And, I think if we have that mindset, then we'll set ourselves up for success.
Going back to the break, you said your daughter loved Disney. What was her favorite ride?
Favorite ride was It's a Small World and the Goofy roller coaster, which she just barely hit the height requirement for. So I was holding on to her a little extra tight during that one.
How much fun was it to be there with, Anders and JG and their families?
Yeah, it was great. We have an amazing group of guys here, but also, the families, the kids, everyone's so close. So it's really nice to spend some quality time with them. Yeah, of course.
I first want to start off asking you about the break. Just what did you get up to, and what was it like to kind of rest and reset, during that week and a half?
No, it was great. Obviously be a dad, be a husband for a couple of days. Stay away from hockey for a little bit. It was wonderful time with my family. We went to Disney World, and then we stayed at Boca, enjoy the sun, and just being together. But right now we're back, and I'm just glad we all here, and as much as we love each other, we just wanna go out and battle for each other.
First time in Disney, how much did your kid love it?
Well, it wasn't the first time. We were living for past 2 years, 30 minutes from Disneyland in California. So yeah, I can compare right now.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, the castle's way better in Florida than California.
I don't know about that. I think it's pretty much the same.
Even getting back to practice, Patrick Wall mentioned that every day he's going to up the intensity of practice to get back to game speed. Saw some fun drills out there, especially with you and Ilya, back to back and having like 2-on-2. Just how fun is that also with season ticket members in the rink?
No, it's obviously great to have people here and see, at least they can see how hard we work, how hard we are working to be prepared for the next stretch what we're having. We obviously know it's not going to be easy stretch of the games, and we have, I think, 17 games in 30 days, so it's going to be hard stretch for us. And we didn't have much of time before for practices and stuff like that. So this time we just want to use it as much as we can to be as much as prepared as we can.
You mentioned, the numbers also. It's 24 games and 48 days to finish the regular season, which is a tough stretch, and it was busy before the break too. What's the balance between getting enough rest and relaxing, but also training to prepare for those games, and how do you kind of balance that as an athlete?
I mean, right now we have enough time to work hard to get the condition back, and get a little extra before the playoffs, before the last stretch, to get us to the playoffs. So when the games are gonna come at us, I think we're gonna have enough of time for a rest. What the coaches usually gave us. So we just right now are preparing ourselves for that last stretch to be as I said before as much as ready as we can, and then we can look where we can have a rest or something like that.
Have you been following the Olympics at all?
Not really much.
Really?
I was trying to enjoy my family. When we were in Florida, I just look at the scores or something like that. I haven't watched it till we got back here. We watched here actually the game Canada against Czech. We watched it here, so it was a lot of chirps. So it was fun.
The chirping's alive in this locker room for these.
Oh yeah, nah, it's not just for Olympics. It's overall.
So sorry about checking. I mean, like, have you talked to Pelech since, or what's? I know you just got here, but to have another Czech guy in the room, just what's your friendship been like, kind of off the bat?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a Czech guy for 7 past years, so it's something special to have a guy who speaks same language, same type of humor, a little bit different than the U.S. one. So it's obviously great, and Pal is unbelievable person and unbelievable player, which just can help us.
Patrick Waugh mentioned to us that every day in practice before games resume, that he's going to up the intensity of every practice. Just how fun was today, just doing some battle drills out there, and the whammies came back, and also in front of some season ticket members in the ring.
Yeah, I think the whole week's been good time. I think even just off the ice, I think guys are just happy to be back, and I know for my mental sanity, it's nice to just be out there competing and doing some compete drills in the corner and getting some physicality stuff going. And I think the tempo's been great.
How do you utilize this time? Of course, it's rare to have a week of practices, especially before a very important stretch. But what's kind of the mindset to prepare as best as you can?
I think just stay focused. I think we have some time in between, obviously before the Montreal game, but it's just going to be about staying focused and not being too tense right now. I think enjoying it, getting back into shape, coming to the rink, having a good time, and working hard, I think, is going to be key. You don't want to. It's such a long season, and especially with this break, you don't want to come back and just have everything so super tense. And I think Patty and the coaching staff and the players too have done a good job of finding that balance of working hard and competing, and also being joyful and having a good time.
The schedule was so busy before the break. Just how good was it to kind of rest the body and kind of mentally and physically reset too?
Yeah, I think every team probably just had a couple guys maybe a little bit nicked up and banged up, and they could get them healthy. So I think we're also in that category, and for me especially, just didn't take it for granted. Wanted to get in the gym and get some strength back. Just you can lose a little bit of that during the season. So I'm not one to sit around for too long, and yeah.
When you think ahead to playing Montreal next week, when of course it's Noah Dobson's first game playing the Islanders. Just what are your thoughts and feelings facing against him for the first time?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting one just because we're in Montreal. I mean, that's obviously always a fun game, especially for me. Kind of growing up in a French class in French school, just being around all the French media. It's definitely up there, but in terms of Dauber, I think it's going to be fun competing against him. I mean, obviously he was a heck of a player for us. I find myself sometimes over these breaks or in the summer watching old clips from past seasons and whatnot. And I was recently watching from a couple years ago, and it seemed that we were in on a lot of goals together. So.
Is there one that sticks out?
I'd say there was one. I forget who it was against. I don't know. Maybe.
Overtime winner in Carolina.
That was a good one. The one that sticks out to me was I pulled it off the wall and then dropped it to him, and he walked in. I think he went backhand, came in, kind of dangled the guy, and went backhand far side. It might have been Detroit. It was a great goal. So I mean, yeah, he's obviously a great player, and he was a close friend of mine for a long time, and so.
Do you still keep in touch?
Yeah, I think he's having a baby, so obviously wished him well with that. I was at his wedding, and sometimes when guys get traded, not just in his case, but just in general, I think we spend so much time together that there's always that bond and that friendship and those laughs, and but when you're on another team, there's that kind of I don't know, competitiveness, maybe. I don't know if it's necessarily that, but it's hard to even describe. I think guys in the league would probably agree with me that, yeah, it's kind of an abstract thing, but a lot of respect for Dauber and love playing with him, and he's obviously a great human.
Because you were, I think, a few years older. He came. You remember his rookie season?
Yeah.
Did he kind of like ask you for advice and was you kind of a mentor figure to him?
I don't know about that. Maybe probably with some on ice stuff and but off the ice I feel like more of a friend. Like I have a sister that age, and so I feel like we're just friends. We go out for dinner lots, play a lot of golf. We have a lot of things in common. So, but he was definitely a guy that kind of filled my role a little bit of taking some crap from the guys once in a while and taking some jokes. So, yeah.
I mean, would it be weird to see him in a Montreal jersey for the first? I'm sure you've seen him online highlights and stuff, but to see him in person and play against him, lining up for the Canadians, would that be a bit strange?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a minute. I mean, it's been almost a full year now that has happened. So I watched their games, and I don't necessarily think it's going to be weird. I think anytime you play a guy that was a brother for a long time in our locker room, I don't know. There's something maybe a little bit different, but it's definitely not going to be weird. No.
On the other side, with Emil Heinman, what kind of impact has he made? Since he's been here, and he kind of fills top roles and plays on top lines, and I feel like he plays beyond his years, being only 24. But what kind of difference did he make in this locker room this season?
Yeah, I mean, he just added some depth that we needed, some speed and size, and obviously he's got a good goal scoring touch. I think one thing that just goes underrated maybe is his physical play. I mean, I think he's leading our team in hits. He might be one of the top hitters in the league. I mean, quantity-wise. So, yeah, he's just brings a lot. He brings, like I said, great forechecking, physicalness, and to have a guy that is also lethal with the shots. That's a dangerous player, especially I think with Bo and myself. Down the middle or wherever he's at. I think he can provide a lot for both of us.
Definitely. How does he fit in off the ice and start a new team? Just how does he gel with the guys?
Yeah, I don't know if I've had a chance to see him maybe behind the interviews, but he's got a ton of energy. He's a funny dude. Him and Holmstrom are like brothers. I mean, they're always laughing with each other and Boquist. So, yeah, you can find him smiling somewhere.
And then just for you guys, for the team, what's the biggest thing you wanted to focus on this week, and what's the biggest key for you guys finding consistency for these final 24 games to go?
Well,
you mentioned breakouts, so they're kind of when you guys are bringing the puck out, you're so dangerous, and when that's the struggle, that's usually when things go south.
Yeah, I think breaking outs breakouts are going to be important, but I think this stretch with 24 games is so mental. Just being prepared every single night, wanting to win just a little bit more than the other team, and I feel as though we're a hungry group, and I know I can speak for myself in saying that we definitely want to be playing playoff hockey and find a way into the playoffs, and we know it's going to be tough. So I think sometimes when you know it's going to be tough and it's tight, it doesn't allow you to kind of get complacent. So we can't take a second for granted.
And just how key is it to figure out the power play?
Definitely. I think coming down the stretch here, there's going to be important power plays that we're going to need to find a way to get on the board or at least create momentum. So, yeah, I feel like it's just a matter of bearing down and just doing it, really. I mean, there's enough talent on the ice to make something work, so just got to make it happen.
Have you been following any Olympics at all?
I have. I watched the Czech game, and probably not as much as I would have necessarily liked to. But, I'm cheering for Bo. I mean, I talked to him the other day and just wanted to know his feelings during that Czech game. That's pretty, scenarios you just, once-in-a-lifetime scenarios, being down like that and finding a way to win. So, no, I'm rooting for him as hard as I can. I want him.
Some good hockey. I mean, even with Palat, too, he's a newer guy in the locker room.
Yeah, Palat scored.
Yeah, that was a pretty
Yeah. Obviously, cheering for Pally as an individual, but I was cheering for Canada and Bo. But I think the outcome was great for me personally, with Pally scoring a big goal, getting a ton of recognition, and then Canada finding a way to come back. So, yeah.
And what do you think for Horvat? Obviously, he ended the break playing really well. How do you think this helps him come back? Obviously no time off, playing high-level hockey.
Yeah, I thought his last two games were really good. I felt like as a line we played well. I'm sure when he comes back, maybe a day or two just to get the jet lag out, but I'm sure being around those guys will elevate his game. So, yeah.
What's today like, and just what's it like to have the fans also in attendance?
Yeah. To start, it was 3 good days actually 4. But I mean, the last 3, I mean, where we, like I said the other day, we split that in 4 categories. The first one was working on the warm up, but also working on our skills and then structure and the compete and the conditioning to finish with. Today, obviously, you saw we did some whammies, but the other day we just did different ways to create the conditioning, and we loved the battles that we had, in those last 3 days. Structure-wise, we want to continue to improve in different areas. One of them, obviously, is our breakout and work on different ways to beat the forecheck from other teams. We have a pretty good idea of what we're going to see in Montreal and Columbus, so we were starting looking at those things and make sure that we're ready when we play our first game.
When it comes to the
Do you feel the appreciation from the fans today? Do you feel the excitement about
No,
this
it's
team?
fun. I mean, I see it in this right now on Long Island. I mean, there's a buzz around the team. It's good to see it. And the other day I was at the coffee shop and people ask autographs. I mean, there's a little bit of a buzz right now. So, but let's keep winning.
When you have the fans so excited like that, how does that translate to success on the ice, joy among the team?
Well, I'm sure the guys loved that. I mean, it was like this when I was playing, and feeling the support and the love. I mean, it's something that you always appreciate as a player.
Did you notice them today? I mean, or you just focus on?
I think they were like us. They were focusing on our practice. We were focusing on our practice. But I mean, it was. But it's always fun to I think it's good for the players and for everyone on the ice.
When it comes to the breakouts, what's the biggest key in that being successful? I know Anders Lee and Mat Barzal talked about how, when that's going well, you guys are getting the chances. When that's not going well, it's usually when you guys run into
exactly.
trouble.
When we exit well, we create a lot of offense. I mean, when we exit well, I think we're like top 10 in the NHL. But when we don't, we're in the bottom of the NHL at the same time. So, no, it's just to give different avenue to the players and give them different scenario that we could use, especially when it's not script. Like there's a moment where you need to communicate, and that's the thing we've been working hard at. I mean, try to communicate on the ice and find those area where we could place those pucks and help ourselves to exit.
I know you're not playing games, but with the lineups that you've been running, have you seen chemistry being built with some of the guys? Maybe like Rittich line, for example. Obviously, that was only a line for 1 game.
I thought they played really well in Jersey. I mean, it was a good game for them, and I feel like Joe and Heine been playing really well with Cal. So I mean, I'm curious to see how it's going to shape up. I mean, in the game in Montreal and Columbus, we'll see from there.
I want to ask you about Bridgeport. Of course, they've been rebounding since last season, and you've worked with Rocky Thompson on call-ups for roles you needed, but just to have an AHL team find more success and kind of come back from last year, what have you seen competitive-wise and just the culture in Bridgeport?
Well, the relation that I have with Rocky is great because we both playing pretty much the same. I mean, there's some tweak here and there that we do different, but overall, I mean, we're having the same. So when we call up someone, it's pretty easy for those guys to come in and have an understanding of the game, and they understand what we try to do, and I think it's healthy for our organization. I mean, Rocky's been doing a phenomenal job coaching down there, and I think that the team is doing really well as well.
So you communicate on systems, or it just happens to be the same system?
We talk a lot about it, during the season. Before in the training camp, when I went there, I talked with Rocky about some situation in our structure, and we exchanged on that, and called him a couple times after that. So, no, I think it's important that we we play pretty close to the same. So I mean, it's easier for our players in the organization.
I know before practice, Romanov was skating, taking some shots. I know he's a long time away, but just how good is it to see him
It's
you know,
great.
working his
It's
way
great.
back?
It's great. And you could see in his face. I mean, he's excited about, you know, practicing on his own and taking some shots. And I think it's been a while. He wants to take some shots. So I mean, but yeah, it's a long injury, and he's gonna have to be patient. And we have a really good staff. So I mean, I'm sure they're gonna take care of him, and he'll be fine.